May, June, July, August got it very much too. September and October we had supposed to rain. So all right, boys, I'm going to leave it going up. I don't think this thing is going to come.
The man talking is only Scott, a native, our main contact and companion during our 3-week stay on Little Cayman Island.
Take care of yourself. Don't swim no way far off from the shore here, because tell you, seen a hell of a big shark at the beach this morning.
Yeah.
Big enough to cut your leg off.
John and Bob went to Little Cayman to do their project for social econ. They met all the people and they had lots of fun there on the island of Little Cayman.
Commercial airlines fly regularly from the States to Grand Cayman. Grand Cayman is the largest of the 3 islands and the most developed. It is principally a tourist attraction with modern beach clubs. From Grand Cayman, a DC-3 flies to Cayman Brac, the second smallest and second most populated island. From Cayman Brac, we took a small boat to Little Cayman Island.
Here is only Scott, whose voice you heard earlier. He took us to this house on the north shore of Little Cayman. This is where we were to stay for our 3 weeks on the island. He said he'd be back as soon as the weather permitted.
And don't leave anything outside tonight that you think might get wet and spoil, because some of these northers has rain enough to wet anything and spoil it.
Right.
And if all go well, I'll see you on Saturday. If you don't see me on Saturday, you know the weather is condition I couldn't make it.
Right.
But the first day after that, I will certainly come down to you. First day I can get here after tomorrow.
Well, no sooner had Scotty left than a storm came down from the north and kept us stranded in the house for 4 days and 4 nights. That was the first thing that we learned about the Little Cayman Island. The weather governs the whole life on the island. During these storms, which are quite frequent, no one can use the boats, and life on the island comes to a standstill. The Cayman Islands lie 120 miles south of Cuba. Little Cayman is the smallest of the 3 Cayman Islands. The other 2 are named Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac. At present, they are under the rule of the British Colonial Office. Little Cayman is 10 miles long and 1 mile wide, about half the size of the island of Manhattan. The land is low and covered end to end by a dense tropical jungle. There is only one town on the island, South Hole. It has a native population of 17. That's about 1 for every 400,000 New Yorkers. There is a tourist resort on the island near South Hole called the Southern Cross Club. A grass airstrip services the town and the club. Some 4 or 5 roads connect the airstrip, town, and club. The remaining 95% of the island can be reached only by small boat or by foot. Our house was located here on the north shore. We were surrounded by such thick jungle that we could make only short trips by foot. We were surprised to find that it was shorter distance by boat from our house to the towns on Cayman Brac than it was to South Hole on Little Cayman.
The first known inhabitants of Little Cayman were pirates, who used the island for their carousing grounds. At one point, they had maybe several hundred people in the area of what is now South Hole. Scotty told us of a freshwater well that the pirates used when they were on Little Cayman. He hadn't been there for 20 years and the jungle was quite overgrown, but we decided to take a machete hike to see if we could find it. The well appeared to be intact after 400 years. The British drove out the pirates and brought some industry to the island in the late 1800s. Sea turtle fishing and phosphate mining weren't successful, but coconut plantations thrived for many years. But a coconut blight has wiped out most of the palms, so that there are only a few groves left on the island.
Today, South Hole, with its 17 inhabitants, is the only center of activity on Little Cayman. The family names are primarily Scott, Banks, or Baden. This is due to the fact that the first families to receive land grants from the British government were Scott, Banks, and Baden. The people today speak English with a heavy calypso accent. At times it sounded almost Irish, and sometimes it was almost unintelligible.
I have seen the pilot named Manuel go Cayman Brac Strip. It flooded. He couldn't land. He come back in and carried his passengers up to the club. And that evening he made 2 trips and landed and Cayman Brac with their strip.
It's good. You put by that big will go down the Salt Rocks.
Yeah, but you can't afford it. Stop down there.
Yeah, well, we're not young anymore like you were, so.
I told him that bring the boat down to my place, sit her up and chalk her up, and I keep it piled over, rain come water, and I was. So I take that one out, what right here, put in that piece on the other side, got the ball, we got to wash piece.
The natives live in wood houses, each having a cistern that pipes rainwater from the roofs to storage tanks. Fresh water is a chief concern on Little Cayman, another reason why the weather is watched so closely. Too many bright sunny days can easily mean dry times for the people. As you can see, some people go to any length to save every drop. There is only one roadside on Little Cayman. The government now protect iguanas because they are disappearing and in fear of extinction. We were surprised by their size. We saw several iguanas that were over 3 feet long. They're quite tame, and they're always looking for bread.
Fishing has always been important on the island. It's a popular sport and a main food source. Most fishing is done with hand lines from small boats. When the fish are running, large rigs from Jamaica come and buy the catch from the natives. A good catch for one man is 300 pounds, so $36 is considered a good day's work, but only for a few days out of the year.
The economy of Little Cayman is dependent upon the tourist trade. The center of the tourist trade is the Southern Cross Club, a sport fishing resort that's open 5 months out of the year. The club has electricity, plumbing, and high prices, about $75 a day for a couple. At present, the club is fairly small, with about 6 cabins. The club even has its own little island, which is used as a private picnic ground.
Most of the natives are employed directly or indirectly by the club. Although they can make more money by going to sea, they seem content with the low wages they make at home. Even the airport, which employs 2 families, relies solely on the business of in-transit club members. And the town's only store does its best business during the 5 months the club is open.
Most everything has to be imported to Little Cayman. Housing materials, dry goods, manufactured goods, and most foodstuffs. This accounts for the scarcity of luxury items, and most important to the islander, importing means higher cost.
Makes the oil and gas out there at Bragg. It handle all in drums, and you got to pay for it to bring it up, pay the boat to land it, pay the truck to haul it down, then turn around and pay the damn truck to haul it back up where you're going to ship the drums from back to Jamaica, pay the boat to carry the board, pay the ship to carry it back again. Yeah. All that is added into the cost of the gas.
Even the island's only church relies on a preacher who is imported for Sunday services once a month, weather permitting.
This is Little Cayman today. Miles of sandy beach, clear water, coral reefs, and virgin jungle. What about Little Cayman's future? Probably more and more people will seek the seclusion of the island and make it another tourist resort. 8 years ago, beachfront like this sold for $3 a foot. Today, it's $150 and up. Tomorrow, the price could easily be $1,000 a foot. Within 10 years, this peaceful island will resemble its sister islands, Cayman Brac and Grand Cayman, complete with resort hotels, fishing clubs, summer homes, highways, beach clubs, restaurants, and plenty of suntan oil.
So that's the story from Bob and John. And that's our project for social econ. We met all the people and we had lots of fun, but we had to wave goodbye to Little Cayman.